Hey, it's Maritza from No Fluff Zone, and today I wanted to share with you my whole group teaching strategies that I use to engage learners. Whole group is when you're teaching a skill to the whole class at their grade level at the same time. So it's not centers, it's not DI, it's not one-on-one, it's pretty much the reading lesson of the day. So what I use is, the first thing I always use is whole brain teaching, but my version of it. So I use a lot of chants. When I am teaching a brand new concept, I use a lot of clapping. I like to cluster or phrase, I guess. I like to phrase specific things I'm teaching to the children in cute little phrases with clapping and rhythm, and I have them repeat it and chant it. Whole brain would also include when someone comes in, like they welcome them to the class, or it also includes in the hallway, if someone compliments us, the class will say, "Oh yeah, class," or if I say, "Wow, Anna's doing such a great job in the line," the class will say, "Oh yeah, Anna," things like that. But it also works the other way. If they're doing negative things in the line, like for example, there's too much space, I'll be like, "Oh, there's too much space, Anna, in my line." They'll say, "Oh no, Anna." So it's a way to reinforce positive behaviors and to reinforce that you are the person in charge of the class. Whole brain chanting is fun, it's silly, and they will chant things you're not telling them to chant. So I have two specific hand gestures I use when I am teaching and explaining something to them that I don't want them to repeat to me. I go like this. So this means their lips are closed and they're not going to repeat what I'm telling them, right? So I just want them to listen for understanding at this point. Then when I don't have this hand gesture up and I'm clapping or I'm saying it in a specific rhythm, they will repeat it back. And that lets me know if they're paying attention, that they're engaged, and it teaches them the skills I want them to learn in a really cute, quick, fun way. And I'll hear them recall those things at the same time. So the next thing I use is this Winbridge voice amplifier. Usually by this time my voice would have been gone in teaching. This has been my lifesaver. It's rechargeable. I think it's $30. I'll link it in the comments in the description below of this video. And when I tell you that sometimes you'll tell the students to turn to page 12 and they're just staring at you, it's not because they're being defiant most of the time, or because they don't want to do the work. It's because they probably didn't hear you. And no matter how loud you can talk or you amplify your voice, this guarantees they can hear you. And it lets them know, my teacher has high expectations. She's even wearing this little microphone thing, and the kids will joke around saying, "Oh, you're such a celebrity because I'm amplifying and I'm have the little microphone on," and they really think it's fun. Another thing to it makes you aware of how you're speaking to the children. Sometimes we say things and we might not really realize we're saying them, but with the voice amplifier, you're like, "Wow, I just said that? Like, that sounded wrong." And it helps you become aware of the vocabulary you're using with the children. The third thing I love to use is ClassDojo. So when I see a child doing something really well in the skill, I will award them a point. They won't really see it, but they will hear it because I walk around with the app on my phone and I give them the point. When they hear the ding, it encourages other children to show me that they've gained the concept, that they've gained understanding of the skill. I also do like to give candy when I am in a rush. So for example, I have this little candy jar full of dollar store peppermints and other candies. And I will tell them, "Oh, whoever finishes the daily end product first will earn this candy." Third thing, before I even start teaching the whole concept, the fourth thing is I have a daily learning target. That's what we chant whole group wise, so they know what we are learning. I have the anchor chart of whatever lesson we're learning. And I also have the daily end product. So those are the questions that I'm giving away points for or candy for. So they know those are the questions Ms. Hernandez is going to look for me to show that I got right. So once I'm walking around, I put a timer. I put 1 minute. When they hear that, they start working immediately. They don't like to waste time because they want to earn the dojo point, the candy, or feedback labels. They love getting these little feedback labels. These are from Dollar Tree. They're the Polaroid Dollar Tree. It's 32 a sheet. So all I do is I print very vague, I guess general feedback comments. So for example, this one says, great way of using the reading skill to answer the daily end product. And it has 16 happy faces at the bottom because they've counted it and they let me know that they earned 16 little happy faces. So it goes either way. If they get the pink one, which is usually, for example, this one says, next time focus on using text evidence to answer your daily end product. This will let them know that they didn't use the story, you know? And those are little reminders that will help them attain the skills you want them to attain in a short amount of time. That is called whole group teaching. Reading journals. This one takes time to do ahead of time. So these are these are my daily end product questions. So the reading questions that I've created using the standards and the stories, of course, to determine whether or not they got the skill. So I do this in 3 phases. The first phase would be they have their little journal, they have the question, and we do it all together. When it is a brand new skill, I do it with them and they will copy and we review everything pretty much orally. So I check understanding orally. The second time, I let them do it with their partner. So if they do it with their partner, I walk around quietly with my phone and Dojo up, and they will look around with their eyes to see if I'm awarding points, and they'll listen. So when I hear them talking, that's when I can determine whether or not they're understanding the skill or what is confusing them about the skill. The third one is by themselves. So they do that independently. I chant it, I prepare them. They don't do the third one the first day usually, depending on the skill. If it's a brand new skill, they'll do it the second time we expose them to it. And they really do enjoy these little things. And these are for second grade wonders, and I made them for all the stories for the Wonder series for reading comprehension. So it's the reading skill and the vocabulary skill. And I even make my own little mini lesson papers, anchor charts, and I put them in there, highlighting. They highlight what I teach them. So it's a first time concept I have taught them, they're highlighting it. Red pen means that is exactly what I have taught them explicitly and they copy it. Pencil means that is their own understanding, their own creating of the skill. So for example, this was a reading journal and that was a graphic organizer they had to do. I make them date everything. They have very limited time to do this. So I understand we're at a point where we want them to write neatly, and I do encourage those skills. We want them to write neatly. We want them to practice penmanship, but when you are doing whole group and you're teaching a reading skill, you need to understand that you're not assessing can they write neatly and fast. What you are assessing is, do they understand the concept of main idea or context clues? And in the limited time that you have to assess whether they got the skill or not, you are pretty much, when you have them copy the question, you're wasting time to see did they get the skill. So I understand, you know, they should do it because we used to do it back in the day, and I understand all those things, but you will run out of time, and then you will not really assess whether or not they've learned the skill or they've attained the concept. And it's very unfortunate to go into the next day to teach the same skill with a different story, and you have no idea whether or not they really got it or not. Now, there will always be children that no matter what will have a hard time finishing the answering of the questions, even if you give it to them, and that's okay. What I've seen is usually after winter break in second grade, their brains, like the light bulb turns on. They're quick writers. They're quick. It's like, I don't know, like once Christmas comes out of them, they're back in business. Like they know what I expect from them. The handwriting gets much better and everything takes practice. This is a big grade for them. They're going from, first grade, which is a lot of sounds and letters and words and very short stories, to really big stories, and it can be frightening for them. So these are the things I use to teach whole groups teaching strategies, whole group, in a quick and efficient way. I'm gonna link all the things I mentioned, as many as I can, in the description below. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you do want to see more videos about my little teaching tips and tricks. All right, thank you and have a great day.